everyone, and welcome back to another hiking video on the channel. We're currently in the western region of the Lake District at Ennerdale, which is a fantastic place, but it's full of insects at the moment. So it's mid-afternoon on a Saturday, so it's quite busy. So we're just going to march along the track and up towards Haystacks, I think. So you've got Ennerdale Youth Hostel there. So if you carry on walking past Ennerdale Youth Hostel, you end up at the Black Sail Youth Hostel. So you've got a couple of options to come and stay down in Ennerdale. But I've just noticed that there's a few signs around. They seem to be clear felling the larch because they have got a disease. So I think we've been walking now for probably about an hour and a half. Maybe it's just under that, but it's really warm. I've had to take my cap off because I'm just boiling up. I think it's about 17 or 18 degrees, which is fine. But when you start hiking with a pack on your back, you get warm pretty quickly. But we're still not out of the forested area of the valley yet. It does go on for I think maybe it's 4.5 miles. So it's just started to rain, which is nice. That's cooling things down a bit. So we just had a look in the Black Sail Hostel, which you might be able to see just behind me. Looks really nice inside. It's all open, but there's nobody in. Guess you've got to be booked in to stay there. Well, you do, I think. But we were going to head up to Haystacks, which is up there, and you've got a couple of tarns up there. But then we've decided to head towards, I think it's Great Gable, and maybe it's Camp Low down in the valley. There's a little bit of a breeze, which is good news because there's a lot of midges. And I've also got the MSR Free Light tent with me. Now, if you watched our trip up to the Cairngorms, you'll have seen that tent get flattened in the wind. So I'm not too confident about using it high up. Although I did set it up the other day in the garage actually, because it was raining, and I just had a good look at it and thought about a few different ways that I can strengthen it up. It's got quite a few guy line points, but it only comes supplied with like 4 guy lines or something like that. But I'll show you once I get it all set up. So I think what time is it, Tris? Was it about 4:30 or something? About 4:30, 5ish. So we're quite early to pitch up. So we're just going to sit here and have a cup of coffee. And we're going to use the new, or our new Mountain Smith chairs, you know, the ones that attach to the trekking poles. So I'll give you a quick look at those. Apologies if you're picking up the sound of a helicopter. It's like an air show around here today. There's planes, copters, the lot, you name it. It's flying up and down here. Yeah, anyway, this is the Mountain Smith seat. I've got a little pad in here just to keep your arse warm. But, on its own it weighs 144 grams. It's very compact, very lightweight, and just stick it in the side of your bag. Really simple concept. You've just got a bit of material like that. You sit on this end and you put your trekking poles in this end, cross them over and just lean back. So let's give them a go. There you go. Once you get that sorted, you can just lean back. It's not bad. I don't think it'll be great for winter when the ground's soggy and wet, do you? It's like my legs are on the ground now, you're just going to get wet unless you
can extend that out.
But the main thing I bought them for was in the tent at night when there's two of us. You can just open the bug net and put the poles outside of the tent and keep this seat bit in the tent, and you can have somewhere to lean back. It's a good idea, Tris, I'm telling you. Do you know when like you're camping in winter and you've got like 6 hours in the dark in a tent? You can just sit there leaning back, eating your dinner, drinking your beers, reading a book, watching a film. You can even like put your head back on it as well, so you can slide down. Oh yeah, it's nice. It's, and for 144 grams, and if you usually carry trekking poles like we do, unbeatable. I'll put a link to where I bought it from below the video. You happy with that, Tris? You seem happy.
Yes.
It's alright, isn't it? It is nice, like. It's so boggy along this track. I mean, oh, there's a good couple of inches of water. So much so that someone's actually lost the trekking pole in it. So like the end of the pole must have come off and they've just carried on walking. So I'm still searching for somewhere to camp, and that spot that Tris and I stopped for coffee, it was a great place to camp, and it looks like people have done before, but we decided not to do it because it was just I don't know, it's just a bit too near the hostel, a bit too near the path. So we've come up here to get ourselves out of the way, and I've just turned around and it must have been in a matter of like 5-10 minutes. There's a tent there. So yeah, we'll be up here out of the way, which is how I like it. That's just one that goes in at the front for you, Tris.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, okay, that's... Yeah, that.
Now what we'll do here is just make sure we do it properly and pin everything. So we've managed to pitch the tent. This is it's a very lightweight tent. My last video was a review of the Fjellraven Abisko Dome, which weighs almost 4 kilograms, a 2-person 4-season tent. This one weighs about 1.3, 1.4, and it's a 3-person tent, but it's more like a spacious 2-person tent. But this thing, oh, I mean, I used it on the West Highland Way. It was great most of the time until it rained. The tent just flooded, but to be fair, we did wake up pretty much camped in a river after 12 hours of rain outside Kinlochleven, and then I took it up to the Cairngorms, and again, to be fair, the winds were, they must have been in excess of 50 miles an hour, and the tent just buckled outside Curragh Bothy. Now I'll just show you, I'm just going to press on the top of the tent here. I mean, you can just, I don't really have to put much force in, and you know, a gust of wind came and that tent just flattened, and we were lying inside it as well. It literally just hit me on the nose. So what I've decided to do is to try and strengthen things up. The tent only came with 4 guy lines, so I've had to buy a couple more. These are just cheap ones from Go Outdoors, which I've put here. And I'm guessing that I'm going to start putting a tent pole under each one of these crossbars here, and that should stop that problem, I would have thought, or I would hope. But I've also added an extra long guy line to the front, so I can put another trekking pole here, wrap the guy line around it, secure it, and then peg it out, so I can kind of lift this guy line up, if you see what I mean. So you've got a bit of well, just more stability on that front pole, and hopefully that should see us through any bad weather. But the major problem we have camping here is that the ground is so rocky. My pegs are in by about 2 inches, so I don't think it's going to get windy at night, but if it does, this tent's just going to blow away with us in it. So I've got the burner on. We're going to get some food. We've got a couple of real termite meals, and I'm just praying for a bit of wind. I mean, I don't want too much because I don't want the tent to blow away in the night. But yeah, it's so still and muggy. The midge is just coming out in force. So yeah, pretty annoying. I really should have put some smidge in my bag, but I didn't bother, or I forgot actually. But it's usually quite windy when I come up to the lakes, so you never usually get hassled by them too much. But I mean, this valley is really sheltered, so there's very little breeze, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it. So I've got myself a real termite pulled pork for tonight. Trish has got the kebab stew, but she's retired to the tent just to get away from the midge. But it's looking good. We might get a sunset tonight, I think. But I'm not really sure how long I'll sit out here for. You know, you enjoy sitting out when you come camping. You don't really want to sit inside a tent. You might as well be sitting in your front room, mightn't you? So we've had dinner, and the sun's beginning to set. Not really sure what time it is actually. I'll just check. I think it's probably about 7ish now. Well, it's 7:30. So I'm going to set the GoPro up and try and get a time lapse. But yeah, I'm just going to get inside that bug net. And I've got some wine, so I'm going to crack that open and just relax for a couple of hours before I hit the hay. But yeah, this sunset's hopefully looking good. Great little coffees. You don't really have to rough it these days when you're camping, do you? Freeze dried pulled pork for dinner. Got comfy sleeping bags and comfy sleeping mats. Gourmet coffee for breakfast. But yeah, last night it was really still. There just wasn't even the slightest breath of wind all night. And come dusk time, we thought it was raining outside. I mean, you get this up in Scotland frequently, but not often down here, where the midge just kind of dive bomb the tent. You think, oh, it must be raining, but it wasn't. And because we had no breeze, there's quite a bit of condensation on the inside of the fly sheet actually this morning, which is a bit odd for this tent. I've never
suffered that before, but got pretty chilly and it was still, so you're going to get that. But I didn't get to test out my new guy line, not that I think it would have been up to much mind. So yeah, I think we've got it's a 7-mile walk to where we are. I didn't realise it was so far. I just checked the pedometer last night and I'd walked I think 7.1 miles to get in here. But to be fair, I probably walked about a mile just looking for a camp spot. But we're in no hurry, so we're just gonna relax for a while and get packed up later on. But I'm guessing you could probably sit here with your tent till about 10 o'clock before you would even see somebody. It's really quiet and really remote. So we're all packed up now, just about to head off. As ever, we've left no trace, just a bit of flattened grass. So we're almost back at Ennerdale water now, so we're going to sign off. We're currently on the coast to coast trail actually, so we came down off the 4x4 track onto this narrow path through the woods. So yeah, I'm going to sign off. So as ever guys, thanks for watching, thanks for the thumbs up and the comments and that folk leave on the videos. It's all appreciated. So as ever, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you in the next one.